everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So it is almost fall, not quite fall yet, but the stores seem to think so. So it's time to start those fall DIY projects. And I have 3 DIY Dollar Tree projects to show you today. And I love how all 3 of them turned out, and I think that they turned out really cute, and I'm sure that you're going to enjoy them as well. The first project I'm going to show you how to make is this easy, adorable fall wreath. I just love all the colors on it, and it is perfect for fall. To make this fall wreath, I'm going to be using these flowers that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I think that they are really pretty. Also, I'm going to be using these 2 wire ribbons. One has pumpkins on it, and the other one is just like a burnt orange color. I'm going to be using this Dollar Tree Welcome Friends sign. I'm also going to be using these chenille stems. I'm using 2 of them. If you don't have them and you have floral wire, you can use that as well. I'm going to be using this grapevine wreath that I already had. I did see smaller ones at the Dollar Tree, but I did not see any large ones like this, but you can get these at like Walmart for like $5. So the first thing I'm doing is taking my wire cutters and cutting off all the stems of my flowers. So here I am just taking those flowers and just sticking them in my grapevine wreath. Now I do like to recycle my grapevine wreath, so I'm not using any hot glue here, but you sure can use hot glue if you feel like your flowers aren't staying in and you want them to be a bit more secure. Just put some hot glue on this end and stick them in the grapevine. So I'm just alternating the colors here just so I have a variety mixed throughout it, and I really love these colors together. I think it's so pretty. So on the ends, I'm just going to go and stick those longer flowers in and just kind of balance it off. Now I am making the bow for my wreath, and I am taking my 2 wire ribbons and I am placing the pumpkin one on top of the burnt orange ribbon, and then I'm just going to make loops at the top of the ribbon. I did keep about 8 inches in length before making my loops, and that will be for my left tail. When I have all my loops, I will leave 8 inches for the right tail. Make the same amount of loops for each side, and don't be like me and have them uneven. So now I'm just going to pinch all those loops and my tails together down in the middle, and then I'm going to take my chenille stem and go ahead and wrap that around and secure all of those loops and tails together. So now I'm just going to hide that chenille stem by cutting off some more of my pumpkin ribbon here. Then I'm just going to fold it in half and go ahead and hot glue that together. And then I'm going to go ahead and hot glue that around that chenille stem. So I like to have the triangles in my bow tail, so that's what I'm doing here. And I'm doing that to both sides. And I'm just going to fluff my bow out a little bit. I'll fluff it again once I have it on my wreath. So here I am adding the bow to my wreath, which is very easy to do with the chenille stem. I'm just going to flip my wreath over and then twist that chenille stems together. And that's how easy it is. So I thought this Welcome Friends sign was the perfect size to go on a wreath. So here I am just removing the bottom portion of the sign, and I wasn't quite sure how it was going to turn out, if I was going to damage it or not, but I was able to remove it without any damage. So I'm going to hot glue one of those chenille stems on the back of this pumpkin, and this is just so I can put it on the wreath without having to hot glue it to my wreath. So now I'm just going to add my Welcome Friends sign onto my wreath using those chenille stems. I'm also going to just twist that chenille stem on the back of it to hold it in place. Since my wreath is too thick to fit in my wreath hanger on my door, I am taking a piece of the burnt orange ribbon and I'm going to twist the chenille stem around that too when I attach my bow to my wreath. Then I am tying a knot on the end of it. That way it can be a hanger to hang on my wreath hanger. I think this wreath turned out super cute. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Now I'm going to show you how I made this distressed pumpkin. I love how this turned out, and I am excited to show you how I made it. For this project, I'm going to be using the bright orange foam pumpkin from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to start off by removing that green stem from the pumpkin. It's just held in there with a toothpick. And I'm just going to stick a skewer
and my pumpkin. That way it's easier for me to hold it as I'm painting and I don't get it all over my hands. So now I'm just going to paint my pumpkin using the color Cinnamon Sugar, which is just a light tan. You can use any light tan color that you want. And I did paint my pumpkin with 2 coats of this color. So now I'm going to take real brown acrylic paint and go ahead and brush some of that on my pumpkin. And I'm not putting a whole lot, but I'm just going around and putting small spots here and there. So now I'm going to whitewash my pumpkin. I have some chalk paint and I'm going to mix some water in it just to thin out the paint. So now I'm going to take my paint and start brushing it on my pumpkin, and I'm just going to put on a bit here. And then I'm going to take my damp paper towel and I'm going to start wiping off that paint. And I'm going to do this for my entire pumpkin. Just take my paint, brush it on, and then wipe it off. That way you can start seeing the dark spots come through, and also a bit of that tan from the original color I painted the pumpkin. So once the pumpkin is dry, I am taking a stick that I just got from my yard and I'm going to go ahead and put that in the middle of the pumpkin. And it's going to be its new stem. Now I'm going to add some raffia, but it's actually going to be easier to tie it around the stick by removing it from the pumpkin. And here I am just going to tie that raffia in a knot around that stem, and then I'm going to go ahead and stick that back in the pumpkin. I think this pumpkin looks great just like this as it is, but I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit extra embellishments to it. So I am taking this burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree and I'm going to be cutting off probably about 3 inches, enough to look nice with this blessed printout. And all I'm going to do is hot glue that printout, which this is just regular paper that I printed the word blessed out on, and I'm going to hot glue it to this burlap ribbon. And the last step is hot gluing that burlap ribbon onto my pumpkin with some hot glue. It's as easy as that, and I just love how this pumpkin turned out. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this and if you're going to try this project or not. So the last project I'm going to show you how to make is this welcome sign. I love how this sign turned out, and I just think it looks absolutely adorable on my front porch, and it will look even more adorable when I have all my fall flowers. It's only August right now, so they don't have any out in the stores just yet here. This sign, I'm going to be using this Beware sign that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I actually like this Beware sign. It's really cute and it'd be perfect for Halloween, but I am going to turn it into a fall welcome sign, so I'm going to be using the back side of it. And I am using a template, so I printed out welcome with a little pumpkin as the O, printer paper, and my sign is going to be 6 inches by 23 inches, so that is the size that I cut these papers out. Well, they're 6 inches in width, and I'm going to tape them together lengthwise to make it fit my sign. And I'm going to start off by removing this hanger. Next, I'm going to paint my sign with some black chalk paint, and I'm actually using Waverly in the color ink. Now I'm just going to tape my template together by using regular Scotch tape. So now I am taking a piece of chalk and I am going to go ahead and rub that along the back side of my printout. So now I'm going to take that printout and tape it on top of my sign, and then I'm going to take my ballpoint pen and go ahead and trace out all my letters and the pumpkin. So now I'm going to go ahead and peel off that printout, and then you can see that I have welcome in a chalk outline, and so I'm going to take my white chalk paint and go ahead and fill in all those letters with my white chalk paint. Okay, so now I'm going to paint the pumpkin, and I'm starting with the stem, and I am using Decor Art Americana in the color Avocado. So now I'm going to paint the pumpkin part of it, and I am using Decor Art Americana in the color Spiced Pumpkin, and I did have to do about 3 coats of this to get the pumpkin a nice coverage, because of course the black was coming through. So now I'm going to use some more of my white chalk paint and go ahead and brush some of those highlights on the pumpkin and stem, and I'm using a small brush for that. So here I'm just taking a larger size paintbrush and going ahead and wiping off all that excess chalk. So to make my lettering a bit more crisp, I'm just taking a small tipped paintbrush and using that black chalk paint and just filling in areas that I need to. And the last thing I'm doing is wrapping some twine around the top of my board and along the bottom of the board, and I'm only wrapping it around 3 times. So I love how this turned out. You do need a little bit more patience to complete this since you're hand painting it, but I think it is so worth it. So that wraps up my video today for you guys. Leave a comment down below letting me know which one is your favorite video and which one that you might try. I believe my favorite right now is the blessed pumpkin. I just love how that turned out and I'm really excited for that one. So as always, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye.